So, as Russell gets here, we will do our renditions of the Jabberwocky, which is a poem written by Lewis Carroll, who included it in the Alice in Wonderland book, or the sequel, Through the Looking Glass, or whatever it was. And hello, Russell. So, for those of you that don't know it, it's quite fun. Lots of words that don't entirely make sense, but your mind, as Alice's mind, will wander about and think of wonderful things. But Russell and I have to draw it. So as soon as Russell gets on here, we can start. Russell, do you see the link? I'm using, there you are.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to just turn it up so I can hear you. There we go. Can you hear me? Can I hear you?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. Your
Okay.
tripod is like right in front of your chest there, looks like.
Is it? Yeah, it pretty well is.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay, that's
yeah,
fine.
I've just set it up so that I can draw outside today
Okay. Oh,
because I really wanted to draw outside.
okay. Well, great. So here we are. I've got 3 pens and 2 brushes and some ink and water. And what do you have?
I have a ballpoint pen.
I can see that, and I was hoping that my eyes were deceiving me, but we can allow that. That can be part of the fun.
I mean, if
So,
it's not fancy enough for you, Pierre.
no, just fancy enough. It's just fancy enough. So,
Fine.
we may have another friend of mine join us as well, but let's just start drawing the Jabberwocky. Now, you read the poem again?
I did. I read it a few times.
Well,
Oh,
I read it all of one time. So, and then I sort of looked at Wikipedia and tried to figure out what else was there. And the description of it, if I remember correctly, unless I was forgetting things, it mentioned that there were teeth and claws, right?
yep. It did. It did, in fact.
Was was
Teeth that bite and claws that snatch.
was there anything else that it had? It wasn't.
It had there were blazing eyes. Oh, I can't quite remember like everything because a lot of it is just made up shit.
Well, I know it's made up shit, but he also talked about other animals in the mix. So
Uh,
the
he talked
bird,
about the slithy toves
yeah,
and the warblings of the
something
the
bird.
gyres were warbling, I believe.
Yes. Well, the only thing, again, a famous illustration of the Jabberwocky has this winged creature, which I'm sure, I don't know if Doré did it or someone else, but
It was
uh,
actually who it was the fella that did all of the illustrations for Alice in
Tennille,
Wonderland.
Tennille.
Tennille. It was Tennille, yeah.
Okay, but it looked so un-Tennille like. It looked very um, uh, medieval looking. Maybe he was doing that sort of to to fit the poem or something.
It wouldn't
So,
surprise me.
because it also didn't look like the rest of the illustrations because I guess it was so dark. So this is a blazing eyeball I'm doing right now.
Oh, I can see it.
But again, looking at the actual poem, um, it's there's only a few things that it does mention as attributes, physical attributes of this creature.
Yes, it was a rather vague uh, description, but of course, it would be very detailed if I understood what he was talking about.
But even if you did, he wasn't talking so much about the creature, the jabberwock. He was talking about the other shit that's in the woods, you know.
Yes, that's true.
So really, there's, we know the guy has some sort of sword that he
The
takes the head
Vorpal
off,
sword.
with, but we don't know, did the jabberwocky do him any harm? No, he's just an innocent little thing with fiery eyes and snatching claws, but it's this guy did he deserve to die, the jabberwock?
That's a good question.
Well,
Probably not.
now would you kill this creature? This looks almost like a cross between Big Bird and Snuffleupagus or whatever.
Well, I wouldn't know where to start killing that creature. That creature is a mess. Like, what part do I go for?
Well, you do your own then. Now, one of the things
That's exactly what I'm supposed to be doing.
that I am trying to do with this drawing and with this podcast or whatever this is to suggest to people that rendering side by side and talking about art side by side can be fun and entertaining and instructional maybe, and so you're a very good guinea pig. Thank you.
I have been told that I'm very furry and cuddly, and I also stink like hell.
Now, are you um oh my brain is, who would design a brush like this? This is straight off the shelf.
Oh.
This is supposed to be, the way that a watercolorist can make grass or something, and it's like, oh God, why did I buy this?
Because you were tricked by capitalism.
I was tricked by capitalism is exactly right, and that should never have happened to me. I um, I should never allow myself to be tricked by capitalism.
I won't get fooled again, capitalism.
Take that. That's the last
Take
nickel.
that.
That's the last nickel you're going to get from me, capitalism.
I'm going to go for a peasant life in the rural areas and make way for myself and die early.
Is that what I'm supposed to do? Well, it's too late. I've lived too long to
Well,
die.
no, actually, you're supposed to be completely successful at it, but then the capitalists come and invade you because they can't take it anymore. They can't take seeing you be successful at being independent from them.
I see.
That's what's supposed to happen.
That's what's supposed to happen. I'm going to invite Leonardo to watch us, except I'm not going to invite him in. You
Okay.
watch Russell, and I draw live. So one of the things I'm doing with this particular, hello, Marilyn, darling. One of the things I'm doing here with this vertical format in these pieces of paper are, I was thinking maybe I might animate these drawings like I was doing with the, I don't know if you saw the construction vehicles that I
I saw
posted.
that you were animating them.
Yeah, and
Haven't had
you
the
know,
time to be to look at the thing itself.
they're they were mildly successful in um, did enough of what I wanted it to do to think that maybe I want to do more of it. It's this app that my neighbor Gina told me about a long time ago called Oh Snap, and
Hmm.
it's a very easy animation app where um, you can set your camera timer to be every 10 seconds or 5 seconds, or you can draw them. You can take a picture um, one at a time, and it's actually pretty good for nearly free. It was maybe $1,
That's not too bad.
or maybe it was $2, but I can't remember. It was many years
Whatever.
ago that I bought it, but um, you just take picture after picture with your hello, Kesh. You're backstage. I appreciate that, Kesh. We're doing a specific thing with Russell and I for an experiment. So you can type, but I can't let you in yet, if that makes sense. Um, Russell, on your screen, you have the big screen, and what you're drawing is way at the top right-hand corner, left-hand corner. Could
Okay.
you
Let me
could
see if
you
I can turn this up
aim the camera a
upwards a
little
little
bit?
bit. Like that.
Yeah, that's better.
Is that better?
Yeah, thank you. And we may, Kesh, I might invite a friend of mine from New York who was thinking he would join us and play uh, piano accompaniment to our drawing.
Hmm.
And I think you would really like to talk with, uh, his name is Andrew, and he signed on as Drew as his name. And he said, oh, it should have been drawn because, he's of a certain age like I am, and I've known him for 40 years. And, Drew is far too recent a verb tense for people that are as old as we are. Yes, I saw that you were on Camcache. It was very nice to see that you were there. Um,
It was. I don't know what I was about to say, but very quiet day today so far.
no trauma in your school.
In my neck of the woods, no, not today.
Okay, but
Only
tomorrow,
just doing tomorrow. Who knows?
yes, who knows what tomorrow will bring. Well, this is a good day to render the Jabberwock.
Oh
Uh,
well, actually, today I did receive that Hamburglar
oh
figurine.
yes,
I
I saw
showed
that.
you. Yes,
The
it was very
Hamburglar,
nice of them.
the Hamburglar with uh, no
With
pupils.
no pupils.
It was
Yes,
it was a little creepy, but you know,
but he used to have no pupils,
oh, he
so
did.
it's actually fairly accurate. Yeah, it
I see.
used to be his mask. He just had those white slits for eyes, basically.
Oh, okay. Well, it's surprising that they, uh, whatever this product is, would go through the trouble to do the research. to do it correctly.
Yeah, you'd think they would just push it out like everything else, but
Do whatever is easiest. Um, find the first thing under Google Images and download it, regardless of how many pixels it has, and turn it into a thing to sell to impressionable people.
impressionable youth like myself.
Well, you didn't buy it. It was gift.
That's true.
The people that gave
It
it
was
to you,
gifted to me by people even more in their youth than I.
more impressionable.
Yes,
But it just shows how much they love you, as we all do.
it's good to know. It's good to know that there are people who care enough in this world to buy me Hamburglers.
Now, my little creature here is turning into something like the Tasmanian devil. This is a much hairier uh, animal than the slithery sort of reptilian version that you sometimes see. But
Yeah, it's funny because just about ever since John Tennille, everybody sort of treated it like a dragon or a lizard.
uh,
You'd think they'd go for something different every once in a while.
well, but else, I mean, he did it right. He did it good.
He did
And,
it good. Yeah, absolutely.
and there's um, there's no reason. It's like Sidney Paget doing the Sherlock Holmes in the Strand magazine. It really set the tone. I mean, Watson's description was pretty accurate to uh, the people we see that play him, but uh, it was pretty good. But it's this brush that's turning him into this hairy creature, I think. See, one of the things I wanted to do with this sort of reflective paper is to the ink never really soaks into it; it just dries on top, and so I thought I could go back later and keep um, smearing other colors of ink on it, and as my movie is made, I'll take a picture of each of these frames and then attack it with a brush, and then go with other. This one I kind of like.
Oh,
Now,
oh yeah, I really like that one.
for those of you in the audience, I want you to notice how my dear friend Russell holds his pen. You hold it very much like a paintbrush, which is really great, I think.
It can be a detriment at times, but one of the things that I've always admired about you, Peter, though, is that you can just shell out these really good drawings like way faster than I can.
Well, it's because you draw accurately. Anyone can draw accurately. I draw with feeling. No, your renderings have so much more nuance and detail to them, I think, that I find them quite quite beautiful and subtle, and these things are a little more aggressive and unsubtle, I guess is the word.
Expressive.
Expressive, maybe, yes. Yeah, this guy is very hairy. I'm going with the mammalian jabberwock, as opposed to the reptilian one.
He's a millionaire.
Yes.
Or as SpongeBob once said, 100% male.
100% mammal.
Yes, there was a joke in the show where they were discussing hibernation with with the squirrel, Sandy the squirrel, who lives under the sea. And she was telling him about hibernation and say, "Well, you can't hibernate; it's a mammalian thing." And of course, SpongeBob says, "Well, I don't know if you've noticed, Sandy, but I am 100% mammal."
Okay.
It was a good show.
Yeah, I always the times that I had seen it, I thought it was quite endearing. It's hard not to like him and Patrick. It's kind of easier to
Yes,
dislike
but
the other
then,
people, but he was
but
like,
like with The Simpsons, they've
yeah.
let it run on too long.
Oh, did they?
And, yeah, and now they're sort of running out of good jokes.
I'm drawing the misunderstood Jabberwock. He doesn't understand why people don't like him.
Do any of us understand why nobody likes us? I certainly don't.
Well, sometimes it's obvious. And sometimes it's a mystery. So this particular pose of the Jabberwock, it's a mystery.
Ooh, that's a nice one.
Oh,
He
thank
looks
you.
like a dog sitting on the porch stoop, ready to snatch you, as it were.
With his snatchable claws
Yes,
in his sharp whatever his teeth.
mandibles, his jaws.
So for those of you that care about ink, the red here is Mont Blanc Burgundy Red. And the blue color is some sort of Carter blue black ink that is 60 years old. So
One of my problems with these streams is that I get like way too intent on doing the tiny details. That's something that I always end up ruining myself.
I don't think you should be concerned about that.
Yeah, I'm not. It's just a different demeanor, I suppose.
Here's the board.
Still.
The board, slightly angry Jabberwock. Crossing his front legs. It's kind of. Well, I wonder if Andrew will join us. It was. See, this one looks like he's. If Homer was the Jabberwocky, this is what it would look like.
I think you're right. It reminds me. I've seen images of The Simpsons where they've had like their faces peeled back and their brains exposed.
Oh dear.
So it reminds me of that.
Okay.
These are from the show, mind you, for like Halloween episodes and all.
This brush, I'm beginning to like this brush, and it should be called the Jabberwocky hairbrush, the mammalian Jabberwocky brush. because it does work with this. Have you seen a lot of Sally's artwork of late?
No, I haven't been logging on to Instagram like at
Okay.
all. I'm afraid.
Okay. She's
Is
doing
she
some
doing
real
new stuff?
she's doing some really neat things where she'll crumple up a potato chip bag that has a foil interior, and then she'll
Right, and take pictures of it. Yeah, I
take,
have seen those.
yeah, and um,
They can produce some really surprising results.
yeah, they can. Um, Now I have to go back to the first one I did. The first one has a lot more. See, my jabberwock changed into this sort of. He started out this way, which
Mm.
isn't was not good. So I have a few more I can make here, and then I'll see about if I can maybe even animate them now using my phone in that app. Um, this live stream is a little tiny bit longer than I thought it would be, but it's fine. So we'll just keep going.
Yeah, I'm good with keeping going as if you're good with keeping going.
I'm fine with doing it. I think we got again. We don't have to. I don't have to have it be. It's again just a test, but I think it will work. It'll serve its purpose for the people that I want to see this.
Yeah.
And see now, look at this. This now the Jabberwocky is channeling
Fu
uh,
Manchu.
Greta Garbo. No, it's Marlene Dietrich or someone that had these uh, very fine eyebrows, and
Mm.
so this is
Yeah, I can see who you're talking
this one
about.
is supposed to be sleeping. This is the Jabberwocky
I see it.
minding
Yeah.
minding his own business before
Just hanging out in the woods like
doing
with the Mimsies and the Trobes.
and doing but what what he always does without bothering anyone, regardless of whether they have a sword on them or not. And he might snore. Maybe he snores a little bit. Maybe that it keeps the townsfolk up.
That could be it. They might just want to kill it because they can't get any goddamn sleep.
It could be that. And I'm making his claws all red with blood. So there's some, maybe they're cranberries. Maybe that's all he eats is
That's
cranberries.
all he has. Or rather, he has no claws but cranberries.
Now, I gave him his eyebrows got a little bit overdone here.
But you know what we could do if you think it's running too long for a demonstration, then we can just cut it here and start a different one.
We could, but
Just depends on how you feel.
um, why don't we do this? I'm happy to keep talking if you are.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Uh, can you bring yours close to the screen here so we can see
Okay.
close to your camera?
It's a little bit tight here. Let's
You may
see.
have,
So I started up drawing this sort of mechanical
Oh,
creature
you know,
here.
I almost did that as well.
And the
Bringing.
blazing eyes are just little holes where the candles are.
Okay, cool. And he has more than two eyes. He's got eyes
Oh,
on the side
yes.
of his head. And you made
Obviously.
you made very nice kneecaps and elbows on him.
Hmm. He just needs a lot more development, as it were.
Well, why don't we do this? I need to cut more paper for my animation. So I will stop this here. Is there a way for you to turn the camera around to see your pretty face?
Nope.
No, there isn't. That's fine.
Not
You
at the
don't.
moment, no.
Okay, that's okay. Then let's just say goodbye and then I'll get back. There we go. Perfect.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye. Oh, I can't get my head done. Goodbye.